Look at I wear my professional attire on my interviews. Can't you see?
A bow tie just for me.
Yeah, that's right. All
Now I
right.
can I
Are
can
we
wear
live?
one of the hats like that and do a hat change like every 5 minutes for different colors. Should
Oh,
I do that?
yes. If that's what you want to do, you can do that. I think we're live now.
Well,
We're live. We've been live for 30 seconds now.
yes.
Hello, everyone. How's our sound? Can everyone hear us good in the chat?
Grab my hats. Hold 'em.
All right. I think I'm going to start with. Should I gas you up first or go right into questions? I'm going to gas you up quick. You guys, this is the one and only Skipjack Cindy. All right. She's a big deal. She's I think the biggest channel I've interviewed so far. I had the privilege of actually going to Tennessee and fishing with her. Her and Travis got me on 2 blue cats. It was amazing. It changed my life. And here we are. Okay. So Cindy has over 3 million views. More than 3.5 million views on YouTube. 3,658,747 views. Can you believe that? That's unreal. That
Shooting
is a
for that
big number.
4 million.
Huh?
Shooting for that 4 million.
You'll get there. You're going to get there real quick. Probably tomorrow. You'll probably be at 5 million by next week. She's got 26.2 thousand subscribers. She's put out 1,620. No, it's not roll the dice, Cindy. That's impressive. Very impressive. That's very impressive.
All the
You're an
time.
inspiration to a lot of us. You really are. You're a big deal. But I guess it's good to stay humble. So, with that being said, to get to 26,000 subscribers and over 3.5 million views, how'd you get there? How did this all start? How did you get into this? How did you get from A to B? How long did it take? Let her rip.
Okay. Um. Well, Travis. Y'all all know Travis.
Oh, yeah. I'm interviewing him
He's
next week.
already dabbling a little bit in YouTube, and he's like, "You need to start a channel doing something." And I was like, "Well, what? I don't know anything about anything." So, but we were fishing at that time. He was a bait dealer and all that. So I would go and help him catch skipjack.
Okay.
So after we got what we needed or whatever, he'd stop fishing, get out the camera, sit down, and start videoing me. And he'd ask me all kinds of crazy questions and stuff. Put me on the spot because I was backwards of shy.
Yeah.
So, like I couldn't speak in front of people. Yeah,
Wow.
just bad. So he'd ask me all kinds of crazy questions, and you know how he is. So
Yeah.
he started
I'm a good
videoing
guy.
me. He put a few on the channel, and here I was. Like, here's one of the very first videos. At one of the skipjack spots. I think I might actually catch a fish there. There it is. And that is a skipjack, folks.
You caught 2 for 1?
Yep.
Wow. That's a true
So
double, 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 double.
double, 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 double. But anyway, that's what we use for bait. It's catfish candy.
Right.
So yeah, I already had a channel that I viewed stuff on, so I just changed the name around. He's the one that actually stuck me with a name. He called it the Skipjack Cindy Show when he started videoing it. So yeah.
So Travis is the mastermind behind Skipjack Cindy.
He's the mastermind, and he's like the one that does all the
In the cooler. You gonna catch anything today? See if we can put some pressure on her here. We need to skip that. A little bit. And I'm not leaving the talk at the catfish. To be honest with you.
now this was
She's gonna have to catch us some bait.
2.5 years ago.
All right. See, you're not gonna whistle for him today?
crazy questions he was asking me.
You gonna whistle for? This ain't gonna be the whistling show today. This is gonna be the. I don't know yet. Figure some name out for it. Something always. Maybe.
Did I catch one?
Not yet.
Oh. Maybe loose skipjack day. Just don't think she's hooking. What's the problem, Sandy? Can't you hook it? Pretty little suckers.
Yeah,
So how
yeah,
long ago was that?
Huh?
How long ago was that?
That was about 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Then
So.
and that was on his channel. He was actually posting those on his channel.
No
So-
BS fishing.
No BS catfishing is the very
Right.
first Jake Cindy, and it'd be wind skips. He posted 5 or 6 of them and stuff. And before I started my channel, I started my channel in March. In next March it'll be 3 years, so about 2 years and 2 months. So I started my channel. 9 months later, I was monetized.
Wow.
So
I'm following your footsteps. I'm at 7 months now, and I'll probably be monetized this week. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'm
was working. That was working full time and stuff like that. So at factories. So I pushed it. I pushed it a lot to get monetized at 9 months. But
so what else what was your keys to success? Did you just post a bunch and hope, or were you doing other stuff behind the scenes?
Actually, we just went into it. I went into it because it was fun.
Right.
I stepped out of my comfort zone and finally got more comfortable with talking to people. When we first started doing the lives and stuff, I was behind the camera always, never in front of it.
Yep.
Except unless I was catching a fish. But catching the fish and stuff was so much fun, and it gave me such a adrenaline rush and stuff like that. I think that's one of the things that pushed me into losing my fear of talking to people and stuff like that. Because I'd turn around, I'd be like,
right. And then you're on top of the world, whatever, I'll just stay in the camera now. Yeah.
But I was having so much fun doing it. Yeah. And catching the big catfish and stuff was such a new thing. Because I fished all my life.
Yeah.
As long as I can remember, some of the earliest memories I have were fishing.
Okay.
So, but
we're gonna get into that. Don't worry, I got those questions coming up.
Catching the big catfish like that was everything was kind of secondary to that, being in front of the camera and stuff like that. But yeah, I was having so much fun and stuff. And the channel, we just started out to have fun, and we even said that if it ever ceased being fun. So it didn't start out about the money, or I never had any illusions of being successful.
Right.
But there too, it was all an experiment. Like you asked me about the secret to the success of the channel. We experimented all the time. What we saw what worked about getting a lot of views or getting a lot of subscribers. Me and Cass Blast Camp raced is the reason I ended up with 20,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were in a race to see who could hit 20,000 subscribers first. He had a video go viral, and then we used a viral sound.
Okay.
So we were saying which one got to 20,000. We got to, So, and we used whatever means necessary. It was all an experiment.
Okay.
So we not ever now. Let me back up on that. Never, ever, ever purchase subs or purchase views.
Right. I'm not even sure how you go about that, but
I don't know either, and I don't want to know. But yeah. I mean, as far as and the fact that we branched out and we went to all kinds of other different channels, and we talked to everybody.
Yeah.
We didn't get stuck in a little loop or nothing. So
Right. So I have to say, of all the fishing channels I've been on, I really do, and I mean this, I think yours is so successful because it's the perfect blend of connecting with the chat, and you do a really good job connecting with your chat, and then you also catch really good fish. You know, it's the best of both worlds, and I think that's probably one of the big secrets to success. All right. All right, so we got through your journey. And obviously I'm gonna know the answers to a lot of these questions, but it's for me and for future view or for people in chat and future viewers and stuff like that. You never know who's gonna see this next. um, where are you located and what bodies of water do you primarily fish?
Okay. We're located, let's just say we're East Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
because we're located at Travis is like an hour north. I'm an hour south of Knoxville.
Right. Right.
So we fish all up and down the Tennessee River from the pretty much the headwaters up here
Mm-hmm.
all the way down to we have fished in actual Chattanooga, which is
Okay.
within Tennessee, all up and down. And then when we went to Nashville, we actually hit the Cumberland, but we didn't do any good on the Cumberland. It was flooded.
Yeah.
But
I find it's kind of a gamble whenever you're going somewhere you've never been before. You know what I mean? I really like to stick to the waters that I know and fish often because I really know where everything's at. All right. Do you remember like either the first fish you ever caught or just like what's your farthest back memory of catching a fish? Like where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? What kind of fish was it?
uh, I do not remember the first time I ever went fishing because I'm sure that I was fishing when I was in diapers. I was at the lake, at the river.
Okay.
Yeah, from the time that I can remember, my dad would love to fish. Um, like some of my earliest memories were probably just along the creeks and lakes of western North Carolina, not eastern.
Okay.
But we lived all over North Carolina, so we fished all over North Carolina. But the mountains, I was born in Bryson City and grew up in that area over there for a while. We moved when I was in like first grade out to the coast, so I spent every weekend on the beach. Me and my brother would spend the whole weekend in the pier house. So we'd fish off the piers at the ocean, Carolina and Curie Beach over there. So
Okay. Awesome.
that's pretty much the extent of my ocean fishing though.
Yeah.
When I was like 6 or 7, we'd fish off the
So
pier and catch little fish while my dad caught the big fish.
right.
So,
Did Dad use the fish you caught to catch the bigger fish?
um, well, you pretty much had, I think, bought bait off at the pier house and stuff because
Oh,
it
okay.
was shrimp and stuff like that they used.
Right.
Yeah,
Did you
I don't think
ever?
he did well enough off the end of the pier catching bait fish in order to catch the big
Okay.
fish. So.
All right. Gotcha. All right. So the next question is, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught? And if you want to divide them between saltwater and freshwater, you can.
No, I'll definitely go with the freshwater. That 50-pound blue cat that I caught it was January, it was a year ago.
Okay.
It's definitely the biggest. And then the second biggest was the 42-pound one that I caught this past Christmas Day. Um, as far as like, yeah, saltwater, it wouldn't have been anything probably over a few pounds.
Okay.
My
Awesome.
dad had a few peer records, but yeah, that wasn't me.
I mean, we
But
can talk
before
about
that,
Dad's speed records if you want.
when I was a kid, we'd hook into red horse and stuff like that. But I don't recall ever weighing a fish when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
I still don't. I just do the inches.
yeah. But yeah, we catch red horses and stuff up in North Carolina. We fished all the rivers and stuff up there, so all kinds of fish. Usually panfish when we were kids, but
That's a lot of people start that way. So what is your favorite fish to catch, or was your favorite fish that you caught?
oh
Oh, oh my goodness. That's a blue cat? That looks like a flathead.
oh no, that's a flathead, 38 pounds.
Oh wow. Yeah, flathead are a good time. I missed one today. I had flathead bite from the bridge.
Oh, we don't know how much that one caught that. Yeah. Oh, that one wasn't the 38-pound ones, but it was close.
They're an
But
impressive
38
fish.
pounds is my PB flathead, and that's my very, very favorite kind of fish.
I'm going to be
It's,
targeting flathead all summer. So about a week from now, I'm going to start chasing flathead. I think I missed one today. I had one on a whole live bluegill, and when it hit, I had the hook in the bluegill's back, and it popped the hook all the way through to the other side. So the hook was in the bluegill twice after the fish hit it. That's why he didn't hook.
dang, it
Man,
went back into the bait.
yeah,
Yep,
But yeah,
that sucks.
I was that close to having a flathead today, but I had a heck of a day, and not in a good way. I'll tell you what. But we're not talking about me today. I wasn't gonna go today. I said I don't want to go out on Memorial Day. There's gonna be too many amateurs out there, and then no one was live fishing. So I was like, well, God darn it, someone's got to be fishing. I better get out there. And
It wasn't too bad on the water, was it?
huh? Oh, it
It
was
wasn't
awful.
too bad on the water.
No,
Was
it
it?
was terrible. I was cussing the whole time. Oh my God, I was so mad. The speedboats. I mean, these people had 300 horse Mercs on the back of their boats, right? And they're just all around me, tipping my little boat over practically, moving my baits, getting me snagged, getting my anchors moved up. It was awful. It was so awful. And then this big pontoon boat, their motor died. And of all the boats out there, they asked me with my little 5-horse electric motor to tow them back to the pier. I said, I don't. Okay, I can't not help someone, but by God, I don't think I'm the one for this job. My boat doesn't have that kind of horse, and I couldn't get them to that pier. But I did take them to another pier down the river, and it was a rough day. It was a rough day, and I got skunked. I got skunked today. But this isn't about me. What do we got there? Is that the big blue?
Yep, that's the 50-pounder.
Oh, wow. That's insane. Okay, so next year when I come to Tennessee again, I want to catch one of them. I'll settle for a 25-pounder or a
You better come
20
in the cooler.
21-pounder because I can catch 20-pound channel cats up here, but that's
Now,
as
listen,
big as they get, I think.
that's cold weather fish. You're gonna have to come in January or like late December to catch them big blues like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I could do that. That's when I'd like to come anyway.
On the bites on for sure.
Because for me in Wisconsin, it's going to be like -30. So I'll come to Tennessee, and if it's like 5 to 10 degrees, I'll be like, "Oh my God, it's so nice here," So that'd be great.
10 degrees in Tennessee, you're gonna be hard pressed to get me out. We'll have to build a shelter
whatever
and
the
put a
temperature.
heater and stuff in it. You better bring some cold weather gear.
Oh,
For
I've got
me.
cold weather gear.
No, for
Ricky
me.
Drill Chill's going to try and make me go ice fishing with him this year. Oh, man.
Now, ice fishing wouldn't be too bad if you have one of them little huts.
Yeah. Or if there's enough ice that you can get your car out on the water, that's pretty okay.
Pretty
All
okay.
right, where were we? So we did your favorite fish. So flathead are your favorite. Your biggest was a blue, but flathead are your favorite. Is that because flathead fight harder than blue, you think, pound for pound?
I
Or
don't
are they
know.
just more impressive to look at?
I like their attitudes.
Yeah.
I like the way they look. They're like the junkyard dog of catfish.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah.
they're badass.
They are. I love them. Great big old
And
mouths.
oh yeah, you can hold a flathead and open that big mouth, and I mean it's cavernous. It's like, "Rrr."
Yeah.
I love the way they look, and when they fight, a blue cat will do a bunch of head shaking, but the flatheads they dive and they don't want to come up, and you're like,
Yeah.
and then
They'll-
even the bite of a flathead, a blue cat will just lay that pole over. A
yeah.
flathead will be like,
Yeah, they'll trick you. Yeah. Because they're lazy. They're lazy. So what they'll do is they'll come up and they'll hit that bait and they won't go anywhere. They'll just sit there with the bait in their mouth and wait for something to happen. And then next thing, so you're like, did I get a bite? Is there something there? And then once it realizes that something's tugging at it, then it's like, oh, I'm getting to bottom and fights on.
it'll
Then you're
turn
like, oh
and
my God,
yeah.
this is a real fish. This is a real fish. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
got to
flathead
wait
are
on a
good.
flathead. If you jump the gun on them, you'll pull the bait right out of their mouth. You got to wait till they turn that head away when they
Yep.
turn that headways when they hook themselves. So yeah, it's a little bit more challenging. And have you ever hooked a flathead and not known that it was even on there till you went to reel your pole in?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's and that's what I was saying. Like they'll trick you too. Is like because I remember one I caught last year. I even said was it a video? Yeah, I can't remember if no, I didn't. I haven't gotten a flathead on a video yet. But I remember specifically saying, "Oh, it's just a little one" to my friend that was in the boat. Like I was like, "Oh, I think there's something there." Oh, it's just a little one. It started reeling, and then all of a sudden it took off, and I was like, "Oh God! Oh no, this is a real fish! This is a real fish!" And about 15 minutes later, I finally got it up, and it just when you first see it, it just blows your mind, because it's a big fish, but you don't know what exactly it is. And then when you see it, it's like a big garbage bag coming to the surface. Like, oh God, oh my God, just instant excitement. Like, oh, that's a big fish, And then once you get it in the boat, I just sit there in awe looking at it for like 10 minutes. Like,
Oh,
look at this thing, look at it,
my
It's,
my 38-pound one, I caught it on a creek mouth, and yeah, whenever because I knew it had something big, but it was a dig and it didn't want to come up off the bottom and stuff. So, and I was in a boat. Whenever it came to the top, I was like, oh, I get so jacked up, I shake and stuff like that. But I was like, I cannot believe how this fish looks. I
yeah,
don't know. A blue
they're
cat
unbelievable.
looks like a shark somewhat. It's got that. They're
That
beautiful.
big
Blue
fins,
cats are they're the GQ. They're the runway
yeah,
models of
right.
catfish. But those flatheads are just like
Redhead are like
they
WWF
don't give a
wrestlers.
damn.
They're jacked and they're covered in tats and they're ugly and they're mean and yeah.
And then the other thing I like about flatheads is when you release them,
Hmm.
most of the time when you release a flathead, it's just like
Like you don't give a crap. It's just like, yeah, I'll just casually swim off. No big deal here. Because
I'm
I,
a
I
twist.
think once they get that big, they don't have any natural predators. They just don't have any
Right.
more feet. So even when
Yeah.
something happens, they're like, I'll get out of this. It'll be all right.
Yeah, they're like when they swim off, it's like I don't know. I have a moment there when I release a
Lackadaisical.
flathead that's like, yeah, I'm a 25-pound flathead and I'm just swimming away.
Right.
Y'all don't bother me.
Right. All right. Do you have any superstitions, like fishing superstitions, things that bring good luck or bad luck? Any omens kind of stuff?
You know, I kind of believe, and it probably don't mean anything, but I kind of believe you have to have a good attitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
My
if you go
attitude was
fishing
crap
and you
today.
have a bad attitude about it and you don't think you're going to catch fish or whatever, I think
Hmm.
there's something that you do wrong when you're fishing.
Well, I
I
can
don't
tell
know
you,
if you just don't put
I
as much
experienced
into
that
it or you
today.
don't put as much thought into it or where you go. I don't know exactly what it is, but
It's
if you don't go into it with a good attitude, you don't do as well, I don't think.
Yeah, if you got a bad attitude, you start half-assing it, right? And then you're not tuned into the fine details. This just happened to me today. I got so frustrated with all the other boaters around me, driving me nuts, right? Okay, so the first fish I missed, whatever, that was a freak thing, right? But I had two other fish that I missed, and it was because I wasn't focusing on the details. Like I put this bait on this hook, and there was like a leftover piece of string, and it had caught the barb. You know what I mean? And then I was like, I should have clipped that little extra piece of string, got it off the barb, but I was just like, I'm not gonna catch any fish anyway, and I chucked it out there, and sure enough, it got a bite, and it didn't hook up, and I know it's because that string was on the barb. You know what I mean? It prevented the fish from hooking. So, I
Thanks,
don't know.
Michael. Thanks, Michael.
Woo! Look at all these woos! Holy smokes! We are cooking.
Michael said I had a nice rag.
Well, there you go. So yeah, you got to have a good attitude. That's your superstition.
Yeah, I'm not really superstitious. I don't know if really anything plays into it. Like Travis, if you hand him an open knife,
Hmm.
leaves it open and hands it back to you. I don't really have superstitions like that.
All right, but positive attitude. That's key.
I
All
think
right.
so. Like
Um,
especially like even bait fishing when we go skipjack fishing. you've got to move your bait in a certain way, or you will not. You can throw into a bunch of skipjack, not catch nothing if you're not
Working it.
doing the bait right. Yeah, if you're not working the bait right. So
Right.
yeah, if you're kind of pissy whenever you go into skipjack fishing, you won't catch any.
Right on.
So
yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. All right, do you got any unbelievable or like crazy fishing stories? Anything like that?
I guess it's the same one I always tell. Anybody asks that, I caught. Let me see. I don't think I have any. I do have me a hook. I think I got a swivel over here. And I'll give it a hook slide on somewhere. I'll show you. But what it is, I was fishing one time at one of our good flathead spots, but I don't think we caught a flathead that night. But I caught I didn't get any melon on me. Yeah, no, it didn't. I didn't get any on me. There was no shrapnel.
Melon video.
But
That was
I was fishing and I hooked into a fish and it fought. I brought it in and everything. And when I got that fish in, I did not have the fish hooked.
Wait,
I did not have a hook in the fish.
how did was it wrapped in the line?
When I got it in, I had a swivel that I had hooked just like that with my hook. And the swivel eye was too small for the barb to go past.
Right.
So when I
how
got it down, I had this like this, and there was a leader line, and the catfish was on the end of the leader line.
So was there a different hook on the other end of the leader line?
Oh yeah, it was hooked into the catfish. It was somebody else's rig entirely. I caught somebody else's rig like that.
That's pretty amazing.
On the live. It's on a live too. Yes, I did do that live.
Wow.
But
yeah,
so
crazy things do happen from time to time.
That's like a 1 in a million. How do you hook that? I mean, I can see getting wrapped up in somebody's line, which I did about a week later. I got wrapped up in somebody else's line and caught a catfish about a week later. But I actually hooked a swivel eye, and the swivel eye was so small that it didn't go past the barb, and got it in.
That's incredible. Unreal. That'll do. That passes the test for unbelievable story. I don't believe it. No, I do believe it. It's still incredible.
It's a lie.
She's just making stuff up now. I don't know how she thought of this. You can't make that up. You can't make that up.
You can't make that up. No, that's one of them stories that you really can't make up.
All right. Now we come to a different segment. Do you now, or have you ever had any pet fish?
Oh yeah, I used to have all kinds of tanks. But my favorite pet fish was an African cichlid. It was an Oscar. If you know what an Oscar is?
I do.
The orange and black ones with the yeah. Travis said for every 10 woos in chat, he would give a woo in real life.
Oh, okay. All right. You have it, everyone. If you haven't heard one before, that is a patented Travis woo. He's known for that and saying happy birthday. No one says happy birthday like Travis says happy birthday. But we're doing Travis next week. We're doing Travis next week.
I had that fish for probably a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years. So, and he interacted. Most fish are boring. A lot of fish are boring to have in a tank. They just swim around and do their own thing. This Oscar, because they're so aggressive, would interact with us. So I would go over and put my face up next to the tank, and he would come running at it.
Yeah. Oh no, my fish recognize me. They come to the front of the tank because they know I'm food guy. They're like, "Oh, there's food guy." They come right to wherever I am and they wait for that food. They know what's up.
He would try to attack me to the key. I would piss him off, and he would come try to attack me through the tank. I messed with him. But yeah, we fed him worms sometimes, and if you found a bug and stuff, you could feed him the bugs and stuff like that. But he got my son's finger one time, made it bleed, trying to feed him to the top of the tank.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And then, you get like the holes in his head. A lot of time, Oscars will get like those weird holes in their head.
Yeah, I don't think that he got a hole in his head, but my cousin's little boy, came over and was messing around the tank and knocked the down in there.
Yeah.
And when it did, it bzzz,
Oh,
and he had
no.
after that he had a white spot that popped up on top of his head where he got
no.
shot.
Poor guy.
He lived
Did
through
he
it,
actually
though.
come after that, or was he a little bit more weary?
He acted a little strange for a couple of days, but he fully recovered. But yeah, I loved my Oscar. I was sad. His heater malfunctioned. It got cold and we lost power, and his heater it didn't come back on, and I guess he got too cold
Yeah.
and passed.
Yeah. Happened.
So I planted him in my garden.
Do you have any recommendations for people, for any YouTubers out there you think should be a guest on my show that I should write down and try and contact?
Let's see.
Cat's
Blast Camp.
All right.
I don't know if he's been on some of our lives.
I'm connected
He
to him.
fishes with us. East
Yep.
Tennessee Catfish and Lonnie.
Okay.
They do a lot more videos than they actually do lives. So
It's Lonnie's Whiskers, right? East Tennessee Whiskers.
East Tennessee Whiskers.
Yep.
And then there's Fishing with Chris. And like I said, these are more video channels than they are live channels.
Right.
Let me see if I can think of anybody that does lives. You might try to get
just anyone that you
here.
think would be cool to do on the show. And
You might want to get Shenanigans Fish and try to contact Fish Dave and see if you can get him.
Yeah,
all
right.
he can do is say no.
Yeah, I suppose. You never know. Maybe.
Lila,
be crazy. That would be insane.
Main girl kept after him and started.
Does Main Girl
started,
even go? Yeah, I guess I have seen her live a few times.
Yeah.
I'll take Main Girl.
She'll be back. Yeah, you might want to get her, but she'll be back.
I already tried
Noodling.
Noodling. She said she doesn't think she's big enough to do it. I was like, what are you kidding me, Luke?
She doesn't like to. She doesn't have her face up on camera very much. She's one of those people that will go out and have it somewhere else, but not so much the face.
Yeah. Yeah, and Shannon again.
Yeah, Shenanigans Fishing. Try her. She's supposed to be
Shenanigans. I always thought it was Shannon again. Is it Shenanigans?
Shenanigans Fishing is how you're supposed to say it.
Oh my god! I always thought it was Shannon again.
Well, kind of. That's how. But it's a play on words. So
yeah. I've already done Thunderstruck, guys. That was my first interview, actually. Someone was suggesting that in the chat. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna turn the comments over to the chat. Let's check out what the chat's got. You guys got some questions for Cindy? What do we got in here?
You might get NJ Fishing to do it.
I already asked him. He said he doesn't do interviews.
Oh,
I think Anyfin said he might, though.
Hey,
yeah, NJ turned me down. That's okay.
Who did?
NJ Maniac.
Well, ask Anthony. Anthony J all day.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to get him on. Forgot all about that. I haven't asked Crappie Man yet. I should, though. I'm pretty connected to him. I'm in a lot of his stuff.
So did you guys see the watermelon explode?
I sure did. You know I did. Check this out, guys. Oh, yeah.
It'll run again.
This was yesterday for Cindy's birthday. Happy belated birthday, Cindy. How does it feel to be 29? Feel like you're getting older?
I'm going in reverse now.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. I'm gonna try that too. I'm
trying the Benjamin Button thing. No, it's like I told everybody before. I kind of celebrated sort of the whole month. Celebrate birthday every day on the channel, but
you know.
I used to be like, oh God, I'm having another birthday. And I tried to have a breakdown when I turned 40 and I can't, it's hard for me to get depressed. So I couldn't get depressed. I thought I should have turned 40.
I turned 40. It wasn't as big a deal as I thought it'd be.
I got through my 40s and stuff, you know, kind of cringing every time I had a birthday, and I was like, I'm still alive.
We didn't officially count the rubber bands, but I think it was what, 2 or 3 bags.
It
like
was
8
a full
pounds.
bag and part of another bag. So it said a Walmart bag was 350 to 400 rubber bands. So we're thinking it was probably, well, I'll count them. I'm still going to count them, and I'll probably post how many it was.
Let's just do it again.
But Travis
Do it
says we ought
again?
to do it again.
You want to
We'll
go
do
do
it
that again?
again, Travis.
Show next week.
We'll do it again and then count the rubber bands.
Maybe here's what do one of those like mini watermelons next time. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the little
See if it takes
sugar.
less or more. Yeah. Come on, guys. Anyone got any questions for Cindy? I'm counting on chat.
If I had to pick a fishing spot to fish, where would you go and fish with as your special guest? I mean, like, Anthony, are you talking about who would I want to fish with, or who would I want to take fishing with me? Because I'd like to go. I'd like to go fish with Catfish Dave, or the guy that has the state record here,
Michael.
Michael Burkhart. I would actually like to go with somebody and hook into like a 60-pound, big 60-pound cat, or a 50-pound.
Sorry. We're at the ask the audience questions. Drill and Chills comes up with some really good questions. You got any good ones for us, Drill and Chill? But I'm sorry, I interrupted. What was your answer to Anthony's question? I can just answer both. Answer who you'd like to take.
Locally, like either Catfish Dave or Micah Burkhart. Micah Burkhart holds the state record for blue cats in Tennessee, so 122 pounds.
That'd be a fun one to catch.
Yeah.
And then who would you like to take with you? Like how about in your YouTube community, like in your chats and stuff? Is there anyone in there that you'd like be like, I'd like to take that person with me specifically? Too hard?
Oh, there's so many people.
Right. You wouldn't want to single anyone out.
I can't. I would.
If you say a name, then everyone else will get jealous. I'm setting you up for failure. I get it. Fishless Fisherman asked.
I would listen. I'd like to fish with a lot of the people. Anybody that wants to come fishing with me.
There you have it. So Fishless Fisherman said, was there a video or short you did that put your channel over the top?
I can't think of one in particular. The very first video that I had that did very well was like a cast net video. That one was like the very first one that got over like 1,000. So I remember that one of a cast net being thrown. Travis, he was catching fish in the cast net. But yeah, we like I said, we did all kinds of experimental shorts and videos and stuff. So, but
it's just the aggregate that all brought it together.
Yeah, I can't think of like our videos and stuff. We're still struggling our long form to get them to go really well.
Mine consistently get like 300 views and then quit every time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tell him why.
Because if you do live fishing, okay, the way that YouTube, the algorithm works is you get classified kind of. And when you do a lot of lives and shorts, when YouTube pushes you out, it pushes you in this direction, kind of towards the live and the short people that watch those. They send them out to the people that watch those. And if you do more of the long form videos and stick mostly with that, then they push you out towards people that watch the long form videos.
Okay.
They won't push you into the short speed and the live speed if you do mostly videos.
Well, I didn't start doing shorts or lives until like maybe 2 months ago now. So my channel was strictly long form, and it just wasn't really getting me anywhere. So
The consistency of putting them out too,
Yeah.
putting out content period is one thing that's going to drive a channel. You're going to have
Right.
more of a successful channel if you're in their face. You've got to be, and I do think YouTube rewards that, but it won't reward it right away. I've seen so many people give up.
Yeah.
They don't get that instant gratification or the feedback that they're looking for. And I do think that's one of the things that's made this channel successful, because I wasn't looking for anything out of it.
Right.
I wasn't
Right.
expecting anything. It's we have fun and we're ourselves. So yeah.
No, it's a super fun channel. Great.
Weary Bunny, I'm bawling my eyes out. How'd you know I was crying?
Drill and Chill asked, if you could fish with any historical figure, who would it be and where would you go?
Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau?
No, I wouldn't go stingray fishing with the what's his face? Crocodile guy.
Steve
Crocodile
Irwin? That'd be
Yeah, I
cool.
wouldn't
That'd be
I wouldn't
super
go
cool.
stingraying with him. And I'm not gonna say the guy that goes and fishes the river monsters things. I'm not gonna say him either, because everybody says him. Jeremy
Right.
Wade.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
I think Bill wants you to do some kind of like, I don't know, like George Washington
George
Carver or
Washington,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Be
know,
an American figure. Let's see. I would go fishing with Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. There you go. I bet you Pocahontas knows where the fish are. I tell you what.
She had to do it to live, so I'm gonna go Pocahontas.
There you go. I like it. I like it.
I mean, no historical
All right, did I
figures.
miss any questions?
Someone wants to know how long I've been married. I'm not married. We're not married.
Yeah, they're not married.
I look like a donk, so laugh, Weary Bunny said. What's the matter with you, Weary Bunny?
Weary Bunny's so mean. I don't know. I love him, but he's mean.
Anthony, I'd love to go deep sea fishing. I would love to hook up into a big tuna or marlin, a sailfish, something like that. Like, yeah, that's definitely bucket list dreams. 100%. Something that may be attainable one day is I want to go to the Pacific Northwest and fish up there. I've got
You know
all
what?
those people that I'd love to meet that are in the Pacific Northwest, and I'd like to go up there and lingcod fish and rockfish and go crabbing, and yeah, I want to do all that stuff.
I can't believe I don't have that on the list yet. I'm adding that for my future questions from now on. Is there a dream
What?
fish that you haven't caught that you'd like to catch someday?
Yeah. Nobody wants to ask me any
You
more
got
questions.
a go-to fishing snack? That's one of these little bonus questions I got on here.
Combos.
Combos? Okay. I see you,
I like
Travis, eat a lot of hot
combos.
dogs. I think your first live, you guys were roasting wieners, and it made me want to go get some hot dogs, and I did.
Man, that's fun. Where's my
Yeah.
favorite ginseng spot? I am not telling you, Gigability. It's in Tennessee. The hills of
There's
Tennessee,
a lot of
Gig.
wild ginseng in Tennessee.
Oh, I
Come
love
on, Travis,
shrimp.
what you got?
Yes, AJ. Shrimp.
Yeah, I seen you were eating it on your birthday.
I love shrimp. When am I going to cut my hair, Weary Bunny? Do you want me to cut my hair? My daughter told me for years bunnies were evil.
Yeah, Emmykin's hair is just as long as yours too. I think my daughter's is too, actually. I don't know.
When am I going in the water with Travis? I'll probably end up going this summer. I usually end up in there somehow. There's several lives where I've changed into a bathing suit and went out for one reason or the other.
Okay, Weary Bunny, you're not mean. I take it back.
I like me some Crypto Billy.
Yeah. Yep, me too. We've been trying to get him to change over to bunny things, but I feel like a lot of the stuff he says, for people, like, if they don't know him, they probably think he's mean, but he's not. He's our friend. We like him.
Did CJ get hidden? Just don't
Oh,
fall
I
in
don't
the
know.
water. Now,
Who hid
listen, I
CJ?
have fallen in the water skipjack fishing.
Yeah, if my
So,
my mods don't be overzealous with the hiding people stuff. Like, make sure they're actually, or why'd you hide CJ? What'd he do? I know if Emmykins hide someone, they're definitely naughty.
oh yeah, they're being. I've
I
seen a
don't
few
really,
clumsy
give you
ones.
guys the wrenches because I really need modding. Emmy will do that for me. I just to give it so you guys can connect and feel special.
I noticed. Yeah, you fish a lot of boat ramps for catfish.
An excellent
Um,
question.
Fishless fishermen around here, those are really a lot of the only spots you can get to. There's been so much development on the bank that it's either a boat dock. I mean, really, there really isn't many other bank spots to get. You just about have to fish close to a boat dock
No
anyway.
problem, CJ. You know what? Here, we'll give you some protection here, CJ. There you go, CJ. You're protected. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. Hey, there's Ashley. Give her one too.
So yeah, I can't think of it. We fish them because usually the fishing is good next to them. Now in the wintertime when the lakes are down, you are able to. Usually you'll have to go to the bank boat dock and then walk up the bank or something like that. But yeah, boat
I
docks are
think.
just boat ramps are just where it's at.
Oh, I think one of the deals with the boat ramps is that because like boats have to get in and out of there, I think something to do with that makes it a little deeper in that spot than the other part of the river. So it's kind of like a fabricated hole, if you will.
Yep. Weary bunny, I will never try noodling. There's many reasons why I will never try noodling. For one, and the main reason, because I could conquer my fear of using my hand as a bait. I'd put a glove on or something like that. But mm, for when they're in those boxes or in those holes, it's part of the reproductive cycle. And
Mhm.
they're either guarding eggs or they're guarding fry.
Well, actually, I'm going to dispute you a little on this. So, yes, but um, the reproductive cycle is kind of over. So what happens is once the female lays her eggs in that hole, she leaves. She's done. Her job is done. She lays her
Right.
eggs. She goes. The male catfish stays behind and guards that hole. So there's no
Right.
more like reproduction going on, but he is guarding that hole.
He's guarding them. So
Yeah.
what I fear is when you reach your hand in there, because you're annoying the catfish is the reason they bite you.
Mm-hmm.
You're bugging them. So you're actually they're protecting those fry, and when you reach your hand back or your foot or whatever it is that you're trying to get the catfish to come after, um, it's actually a defense mechanism. They're protecting those eggs or the fry. So when you grab them and you pull them out of that hole, who's to say? I mean, I'm not sure how much research has been done on it, but I don't know that they go back.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. And
So
maybe you could be kicking around the nest. The eggs could go flying down the river, get eaten. All those babies are lost.
and in our river system, our the populations of the big catfish and stuff like that are hurting so bad right now that they don't need us putting our hands in there and just disrupting that breeding cycle anymore than it's already being disrupted by people pulling them out commercially to put in the pay lakes and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just kind of against it on the fact that yeah, you are disturbing something that is trying to raise young, and,
Yep.
and there's not any kind of guarantee that they go back to their eggs or they go back to the fry if they swim on. I know that they have a really good sense of direction, but how freaked out are they?
Right. Well, I don't know. Flathead don't seem to get freaked out too easy, but
No. But there again, how many of you stuck your hand into the mouth of and pulled out of the river? Most
just the
people
ones
put
that I
their
caught
hands
on
to
the
the
rod
gill plates
first.
too. You put your hands down through the gill plates and stuff a lot of times too to pull them big
Right.
ones out. So
Right.
who knows
Yeah,
if
it
you're
can't
even
be good
killing
for
them?
him. Can't be good for him. I mean, that's
So-
a heck of a lot more noble reason than why I won't noodle. I won't noodle because that would just freak me out. I wouldn't
Well,
like doing it.
there too, I'm a little bit scared of having my hand in a catfish mouth. You may have seen the short where my hand actually slipped into the catfish's mouth.
Yeah,
The look
yeah,
on my face. I wasn't a fan of that moment, but yeah, the fact that it was like that's
Did you
another
just
reason I wouldn't do it. But I could conquer my fear of that. I think I could put on a glove and conquer my fear of putting my hand in a catfish's mouth to catch it. I think, but I'm against it on the other thing more. I don't want to kill a bunch of baby catfish.
Right, right. Anything, I just want to raise them up, get them big and strong, and flood the
Yeah, we
river
need
with them.
more. We're the catfishing in the last probably 5 years. I've just been doing it around here. I mean, for big catfish in 3 years or so.
Yeah,
For the last 3 years. But Travis used to him and his friends used to pull 60-pounders out of the river and the lakes on the regular.
yeah.
And I haven't even seen a 60-pounder.
I've never
I
seen a
have
60
actually.
pounder either. I've seen some 50 pounders, but never a 60.
I think I saw a 74 one at one of the weigh-ins but that's like the biggest fish that's been caught out of here, out of the lake that we normally fish in years, by the people that run that tournament. That go into that tournament. But I actually did see one, but I mean, they're just not coming out of there like that they were.
Yeah, I think the
They're
tournaments are
they're just
definitely
not
doing
there.
some damage for sure.
Well, and around here, because you get disqualified if they die, if they don't swim away and stuff like that. I don't think that's as big a problem because people around here are really big into the CPR.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't
they're
know.
being commercially fished. They're being trot lined out of there and just they're filling up them pay lakes. How can you stock a pay lake with 3,000 and 4,000 pounds of fish several times a year without hurting population? You can't. You just
Yeah.
can't.
Well, it's funny. I might have to look into that because so here in Wisconsin, we've got a couple lakes in the capital here that they stock with about 4,000 muskie every year, and they get those muskie from Minnesota. So I'm like, are they raising them on fish farms? Or are they just stealing them from the Minnesota lakes and putting them in the Wisconsin lakes? You know?
You need to research how long it takes them to get to the size that they're stocking them.
Yeah.
Because a 60 or 70 pound catfish that they're stocking in these pay lakes, you cannot tell me that they're farm raised.
Right. Right.
They're
Yeah.
20 years,
Mhm.
25 years old. You don't have fish farms that can consistently produce 25-year-old fish. It's ridiculous.
He's trying to go through the whole rainbow, Jackson.
Jackson, until somebody noticed that I was changing my hats.
Yeah.
I was
See,
waiting
that's
on
the
somebody to
idea.
say something.
Check out the merch. Check out the merch.
Shameless. I'm shameless plugging my
Dang
hats.
it. Tell you what.
But so no, actually, I've seen them women on award shows and stuff like that, and they change wardrobes all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Look at me. I mean, like I could accept an Oscar in this suit. Look at me. I'm real snazzy. It's
but
just like an
Jackson,
award show.
I was waiting on somebody to say something. And Weary Bunny, yes, I would know. I would want to know what bumped my legs. I actually swam in lakes and stuff like that my whole life, so I have been bumped. And I used to go to the ocean and swim in the surf and stuff all the time. I've been bumped by fish before. It's definitely creepy, and I don't enjoy it. Remember when me and Sandy Toes went swimming? We both went in the water. She was in Australia and I was here. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning for me, and I went in the water and something bumped me then. I did not like it.
Not even a little bit? Did you like a little? Just a little bit?
Even a little.
Not even a little bit.
I was ready to get out of the car. I mean, get out of the water. Anthony asked me what my dream car was.
Okay. Well,
My dream car. I don't really. I want. You know what? I
truck
want to
with
have a
a
pet.
big pontoon boat behind it, probably, right?
Well, if you can pull a pontoon behind the Hellcat.
There you go.
I want something that goes real
Or-
fast.
So we have these things the Army made, and they like tour them. They're like super old. They're called the Ducks. Have you ever heard of them? It's a vehicle,
Oh, are
and
they the?
it's like a big bus, but it's also a boat. So it like drives around the street like a bus, but then it can go into the water and drive through the rivers. It drives all around the Wisconsin River, Wisconsin Delta.
I've
That's my
seen
dream
those.
car. I would like to have
They're
one of those. That'd be great.
amphibious vehicles.
Yes, an amphibious vehicle. That's the way to go.
Amphibious. But yes,
Yeah.
those would be cool. That would be really cool. But yeah, now if I had my way about it, I'd have a houseboat.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
Travis said I'd freeze to death on one, but I would like to have a houseboat. I would like to live on the water. I would tie a fishing line to my big toe and sleep.
There you go. If you just put bells on it, you just wake up to the bells. I've done it before. I've camped on the side of the river, sleeping on a cot with poles with bells on them, and I wake up to the bells. I wake up and catch fish. I'll do it.
No, Worry Bunny, Travis does not want a Ranger bass boat. Travis has a boat.
I honestly don't like boat fishing. Maybe it's good. I think I would if I had a pontoon. If I had like a big boat I could walk around on, I think it'd be a different story. But my little boat, I get so frustrated because I just can't maneuver it very well, and I'm not good at anchoring.
Yeah, Travis is actually the boat guy. The woman last night showed up at the boat ramp and their boat was taken on water. They did not have the plug in the live well. And they got so way up the. They yeah.
That one lady got
Travis
shocked
was like,
and started dancing.
He touched that battery and she was knee deep in the water. It shocked her good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Travis was actually looking for that on the live before we went live. He was going back looking through that to try to find that where she got shot.
Weary Bunny says there's a duck down in Green Cove Springs that's bigger than a 2-story house. Well, that's too much. That's too much now. See?
That's too much, Doug.
Yeah, that's too much. I'm a minimalist. I don't need all that. I need to be able to walk around a little bit, but I don't want 2 stories. That's more cleaning. I'm gonna before you know it, I'm gonna be putting stuff on the second story of my boat.
I don't know if you guys have ever looked at these, but like one of the coolest things I ever saw boat or flotation wise, somebody built a whole island out of 2-liter bottles, plastic.
And mangrove trees, right? Yeah, they tied the roots of mangrove trees to all these like plastic bottles, and they have their own island. They just float around on it.
So I made 2 pontoons out of. I learned how to positive pressure them. 2-liter bottles. You put them in the freezer. You put them in the freezer with the lids off, like a deep freeze, and then you put them off and cap them right away. And as they warm back up, they expand and they actually get more buoyant.
Okay.
So, and then I got some plastic tubing, but I was having everybody save their 2-liter bottles for me. I made pontoons.
How'd that work?
Out of 2-liter bottles. Yeah. It's a little trickier than it sounds because you've got to try to get a platform on top of them and keep the. I don't know if you know this about round pontoons, but they want to roll out from under anything you put on top of them. So you've got to have them lash together real well. But yeah, I mean that's the kind of stuff I'd like to do, like to get involved in and stuff like that. It's just weird off the wall.
Big project. You think it's going to go real well, but there's complications. I built like a pontoon raft out of like Sterilite bins and plastic pallets that I got from this factory I used to work at, and it floated. But boy, it was a lot of work getting it all put together and built. And then, I don't know. Better off just go ahead and buy a boat. You can get them cheap. Everyone's trying to give a boat away, so.
Yeah. Travis has a Starcraft parked right out here, Deep V.
Yeah.
And he told Shannon the other day, he said, "You just don't know it yet, but I'm a boat guy too."
Does he? Well, why do you guys always shore fish then?
Because, man, I tell you what, taking a boat out.
Easier to do lives.
It's easier to do lives, actually. If we go out on the boat, we go with somebody else, and it's a pain in the butt. You can only show like 2 fishing poles. And
Yep.
then the lights are a pain in the summertime. If you put a light at night on a boat, then you got
Yeah.
50,000 bugs.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and it's just, you just can't show the scene as well. I've found that people don't like them as well. They don't watch them as well
Yeah.
as
I end up
whenever you,
cussing nonstop every time I'm trying to shoot a live on the boat. I've done 2 lives on my boat now, and I didn't catch a fish either time. I got skunked both boat lives, and this last one I was just cussing pretty much the whole time. I don't think I talked to chat at all. I definitely
it's
did talk
hard.
to chat on the first one. Yeah, it's a big pain. I don't know. I think it'd be
And
different if I had a big pontoon boat, but yeah.
what, like, I don't mind solo fishing sometimes live, like when
Mhm.
Travis can go or something comes up. But it's so much harder to talk to chat whenever
Yeah.
you're having to do everything, and I feel bad when like, away from the screen. I know I miss what everybody says and stuff. The way we do it, I think, works really well,
Yeah.
and we are fortunate enough that both of us like fishing, so usually both of us are up for going
Right.
where the other one is. I've flaked out a few times since I've been up here, but
I actually prefer to do my lives by myself, but I also kind of secretly like fishing by myself, which is weird. I didn't for most of my life, and then I just at a certain age, I just started really like fishing on my own. I don't want other people interfering. I don't know. And then especially on the lives, I don't know. I just like to be alone for it. Just just a personal thing. I don't know. Even though like you're
yeah.
not really because there's a bunch of people in your live, but like I don't know. I don't like other people distracting me. 'Cause
Now
I
I
feel
like
some
going.
type of way, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm zoned in on my chat and I'm talking to everyone in there, and then someone else talks to me, and then I'm out of it, and I don't know.
Right. I don't like, yeah, I've noticed when you do fish with other people, it's easy to get distracted and stuff like that. Yeah, you'll
Mhm.
talk to other people. Yeah. And that's the
Yep.
way it is with everybody, unless they're right there in the, unless they're right there on the screen with you.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
it's easy to get distracted and get taken away from the chat.
Yeah.
But like,
That's why so
I like,
like, it's kind of a personal rule now, like, whenever I do collab with other YouTube fishermen, like, they can go live if they want to, but I won't go live when I'm collabing. I'll make, like, long form videos and then turn that into my music videos, but yeah, I don't like to be live when I'm fishing with someone else because like, I wanna enjoy the experience of fishing with them, you know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah. Now I don't mind going solo fishing occasionally because it does let people know that I have the knowledge to fish by
Yeah,
myself, that I can do the things that it takes to fish. I can go sit up and go fishing.
yeah,
Because a lot of people think that, which Travis does do a lot of the work. But I mean, he can cast so much farther than me. I've practiced and practiced and practiced, and I just cannot get the distance he can. So there's a lot of
throw a
places
4 ounce
that, I mean,
pyramid out, you'll get anywhere you want.
a lot of the places we go have a drop off, and
Yeah,
you got to get past that drop off to get to the
yep,
fish. And yeah,
yep,
so that one place that me and Shannon went, I was getting past the drop off just barely. I had to fling it with everything I had in me. So, I mean, it's good every once in a while to show people that I have learned enough to do fishing by myself. But it's so
right.
much easier to do that, and I think the show works so much better with both of us. Both of
Yeah,
us.
you guys got a really good thing going on. I mean, it's just you're both enthusiastic, you're both very knowledgeable, you know, you both add different dimensions to the live itself. But Travis is a great like hype man in the background, and you're always dialed in directly,
Now,
including the chat and talk to them.
one of the things that we've been doing the last year since people started wanting to fish with us, is like in the case of you coming down to get on a blue cat. One of the things that I've really been getting a charge of, and I know Travis loves it, is we've been getting people on their PBs, and that is so much fun. I
Yeah,
would rather watch somebody catch their PB than catch a fish myself. A lot of times when we're fishing with somebody, I mean, when one of our rods goes down, we're like, get it, get it, get it.
right.
Because,
Yeah,
you know, once you've been on a few bigger fish yourself, and you watch somebody catch a 20-pound fish that have never caught a 20-pound fish, like, it is the absolute best feeling.
Well, I must be a horrible person because I'm still greedy and I want to catch the big fish. I don't want to give it away. I get jealous if someone else catches a big fish and I don't. I'm like, that should have been mine.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. There's always that moment of panic whenever they pull up on it because that I'm thinking, oh my gosh,
That could have been yours.
oh my god, I'm fish away, and then no, and I'm like, no, it's like not bigger than my PB. I'm so happy with getting people
Yeah,
on
as long as
theirs.
it's not bigger than mine, you know. I mean,
Hey
I want
JC,
you to have a good time. I want you to break your record. Just don't go breaking my record on my pole. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's low key. I'm gonna hug you and be happy and stuff like that. And I'm gonna turn away and be like, damn it.
Yep. What's going on with the? Thank you. Yeah.
AJ, she got her personal best. I mean, she went straight from. I mean, what was it? Was it a 20-pound the first one we got on, and then the 34-pound one the other night? Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know AJ was with you guys. I didn't see her.
AJ's Adventures.
Yeah. She went
Adrian,
fishing.
yeah, she came down and fished with us. Yeah. Yeah, we got her on a 30-pound, 30-something pound fish one night.
Oh my gosh, I missed it. Dang it. I always miss it when you guys do. No, I didn't miss the watermelon though, so that's good.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Well, AJ's come down and joined us a couple of times. She's really cool. She caught a skipjack, a fresh skipjack at one of those boat ramps, and we were like, yeah. So we put it on, and that's what started catching fish. So yeah,
That's as fresh as it gets right there.
She did it twice.
she did. She got her PB twice, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Police. Want to see my hat?
There we go.
Your first blue was 19.55. Yep.
Dang.
And then the last one we got her on was a 30-something pound one. So
Mine was what, 7 pounds? I was you would have thought it was a 50-pound blue as excited as I was when I got that blue. I was like shaking. I was like, oh my God.
I know it. Next time.
Yo, I'll be back next year. I'll be back.
We'll go pick them all with me.
Yeah, well, next time we'll go down towards Chattanooga. You have to load up Emmy, and we're gonna go.
All right.
Load up the sister-in-law. Everybody just come. We'll
I don't know.
you
don't know what you're asking for there. That's a firecracker right there.
We like them.
You think I'm different? I'll tell you what.
Thank you, Tropical Road. He said, "Happy birthday week." Yeah, I didn't catch a fish on my birthday, y'all. We've been on the fish down there for like 2 or 3 weeks, and man, we got 2 nibbles last night. For that exploding watermelon, it would have been a bust.
I'm glad. I mean, the exploding watermelon was epic. So,
Travis said you always got to have a backup plan.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, was it 32 or 34? I don't remember exactly either, AJ. But yeah, she caught 3 blues, 3-pound skipjack, and she was on it. So yeah,
I've asked all my questions. We've reached the hour. It's up to you, chat. You got any more questions?
That cat is raining. It's a dark and stormy night, so it was kind of a good night for have fishy things interview because, yeah, tonight's one of them nights you really don't want to be out too much. The bite's kind of off. It was 34 inches long. Awesome, Anthony.
All right. We'll give
Fish sticks or chicken fingers. Chicken fingers.
There you go. There it is.
What was the hardest thing about starting YouTube? My fear of talking to people. I tell you, the hardest thing about still doing YouTube is doing intros and outros for videos. I can't do them.
See, that's why I cheat. I don't even talk in my long form. I just put my music in there, and I do little clips of me catching fish. That's it.
If you watch the long form videos, it's always Travis. I'll be standing there with him, but if I go to do it, I get everything switched around. I cannot do intros and outros. I don't get the concept. Cannot do them.
You did an intro for one of my long form videos. You remember it? You said, "Get it, Fishy." That's the intro to my video. Yeah, that was the intro to my video. You say, "Get it, Fishy."
Fishy.
Yep.
Now, the one time I did do good, Travis was like, "Stop trying to do one. Just be yourself." And I blurted that one right out, and it was okay. But
My beautiful wife, Emmy Quitkins, has a question for you, Cindy.
Another for Mall.
Cindy,
go.
my wife, Emmykins, wants to know how do you get your merchandise, and she wants to order stickers. How do we do that? We want some
I will.
Jackson Cindy
I will
stickers.
just send you some Skipjack Cindy stickers. Email me
Okay.
at skipjackcindy@gmail.com. It's real easy. It's just my name with gmail.com. And I will send you out channel stickers. You do not have to order those.
Can I text you my address?
Yeah, you do have to send your. I have to know where to send it to for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'll text you my home address. I trust you. If you come stalking me, I'll just take you out to catch a sturgeon.
Okay, I'm gonna stalk you until you do take me and put me on a sturgeon.
I
But
can get you
okay,
on a
so
good
the
sturgeon.
email also, if you would like to order a hat, you also email that same thing and tell me what color.
Yeah, Jackson. I remember Steve Irwin. I love Steve Irwin.
I love Steve Irwin. I miss him.
Yeah.
Shout out from
Okay.
Dyersburg. Hello, Michael. Yeah, I'm just being silly about the hats. Did I get a red one on there?
No, I mean that's pretty impressive. Yeah, you got a red one. You got a red one.
Okay.
I'm impressed by your stacking skills.
Oh, I ain't got sense. Is one of the things. I don't have good sense, but it's okay. I will usually have a good time, so it works.
That's where it's at. That's what I that's what I always say. I'm a good time. That's
Yeah,
well.
skipjackcindy@gmail.com if you want channel stickers. I already have some going out, and I won't show addresses. I already have some ready to go out to Travis, Colvin, and Jackson.
There you go. What's your advice for someone barely starting YouTube? What do you mean by barely, JR Buds? I feel like you meant to use a different word.
Oh shoot! I forgot to open my drink.
Oh, I got one of them too. I don't remember where I put my towel at. I got one of them too.
Ask me about my childhood growing up.
No.
Hey,
No.
Fishy said no. Don't ask her about that.
I don't want to
I
know.
don't know how I was born. You want to know how I was born?
Did you come out of a hole? That's how most of us do it.
I had a dog named Shithead.
Okay. We went over this before we went live, Cindy.
Again. No, my childhood was fairly mundane. I was born a poor child.
Well done. Well done.
But we moved all over. My dad worked in sawmills and stuff. So we moved, actually, I lived everywhere, several states. One in my fifth grade year, I lived in 3 different states and went to 4 different schools in that one school year.
Blue, do you
So
pick strawberries at night? What's going on there? Just showing off her merch.
I got way too much merch here, y'all.
Yeah, I got one of them towels. It's got some blue catfish blood on it.
See, the problem is
There's an orange one.
it's fine.
Oh no, that's a no. That's yours there. There's one over
There you go.
there.
Tennessee Volunteer colors right there.
It is. It was dropped on my head as a child. No, I was actually born purple, Weary Bunny. I was one of them purple babies where the cord was wrapped around my neck.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Only thing I
Cooler
can
in
think of,
the
y'all.
still light there. Okay. All right. That's fair.
I think she's trying to say
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Put a hole on this merch, y'all.
Did we figure out J.R. Bud's question? I can't remember if we answered that. I was waiting for him to revise it because I don't think he said what he meant to say.
So this interview has turned out to be a whole lot more fun than I thought it was going to.
Say what now?
I said this interview's turning out to be a whole lot more fun than I thought it was going to.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your lack of faith in me, and I'm glad I could overachieve here. I see something else I can do here. Look at it. There we go. How's that? You like that? See? I'm a fun guy. I'm a good time.
Bouncer ain't here, no giggle squirt, Cindy. Bouncer needs to
no.
be here.
I think Bouncer doesn't like my channel anymore or something. I don't
Okay,
know.
so junior buds to somebody that is having a struggling. Yeah.
No, there we go.
So to somebody that's starting a new channel and they are struggling with it, because there are a few people that are struggling with their channels. You have got to be consistent. But if what you're doing is not working, consider changing it up. Seriously.
What are they struggling with?
What are they struggling with? If it's viewers, then you've got to change something up and you've got to make it to where people click on there and stay on there long enough to see what you're about. If you're not, I mean, you might want to, as Anthony Giles say all day would say, be more interesting. I mean, that's going to be with some people. That's going to be exactly what it is. If you're not getting viewers, then you're going to either have to be more engaging, or you're going to have something that draws them in more.
Slaps them in the face.
That slaps them in the face. I saw a channel today that had kids throwing plastic cups at other plastic cups and trying to get them to stack inside each other from across the room. They had 3,000 people watching.
Crazy.
Why? It's crazy, but it's eye-catching. I sat there and watched it for 10 minutes before I realized I'd watched it for 10 minutes. So if you've got to have something in the background, a counter, a sub counter or something, I mean, just experiment, try. If what you're doing is not working, you can't sit and complain that it's not working.
Right.
You have got to change it up. You've got to experiment. You've got to keep on.
Just yell happy birthday. That gets everyone fired up.
You hear that? You
Save
gotta
it
have
for
one of
next week,
those.
Travis.
You gotta have one of those.
Yep. I got him coming on next week. JR Buzz, if I can, I've been to a lot of your lives. I try to get in on as many as I can, and it just as nicely as I can, with some constructive criticism if you want some. I think you spend too much time away from the camera. Honestly, is really the biggest problem. And I know that you're a very busy dad. He's always got his kids with him and stuff, and so he's busy doing stuff with them. But I think a lot of it is a lack of engagement with the chat. I think you really got to try to persistently get in front of that camera and talk to the chat. That would be my 2 cents.
Engaging, yes.
Yeah.
And there are some people that are real bad about just, they'll sit and just stare at the camera and not say anything.
Yeah.
And I've seen this. I'm not talking about anybody in here in this chat or anything like that. But I have been flipping through channels because I try to flip through and see what works. I'm just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm trying to check out and see who's getting what views and why.
Right.
And if you're just going to sit there and stare at them, that's what they're going to do to you. They're going to do it for like 3.2 seconds and they're going to leave.
Right. I mean, I get away with it. Look, it helps when you actually have people in the chat because I just feed off of whatever the chat's giving me. You know what I mean? I'll just go off on
Yeah.
tangents and whatever they're talking about. But if my chat's not saying nothing, I'll just sit there and be quiet too. I don't know.
Yeah, but you usually get chat to come in because you will engage with them.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
like when occasionally I had like 30 people in chat the other day, and everybody stopped talking. I was like, "What?" Hey,
Right. Well, what do I do now? Fine. You guys won't talk. I won't either. We'll just sit
so
here.
many things, you guys don't give me a topic.
Right.
Well, y'all may not know this about me, but I'm not a very person.
Not a what now?
I'm not a
Excuse me?
talkative person. Ask
Mm.
Travis, we'll be in the car going somewhere, and I just won't say anything for miles and miles.
That's my wife. Like hardly ever says anything ever.
So you guys have to like. I can talk to you guys if you engage me. And if you'll
Mhm.
notice, a lot of what I do is read and chat
Yep. Yep. That helps. Yeah.
because I don't have a lot to say otherwise. I did think it froze, AJ. I thought the chat froze up because nobody was saying anything. I was like, this is weird.
Emmy Kid said if I could speak through telepathy, I'd be set forever. I just wouldn't talk.
Me
Yeah.
too, Emmy. But like, I don't know. I spend a lot of time at, I don't know. I did spend a lot of time alone and stuff, and I just got to where I was like, I don't I don't talk a whole lot. At work and stuff like that, you're isolated in your own
Yeah.
little on a line and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, she's the boss at her work. She's like top dog, so she's forced to have to talk to all her little underlings.
My brother and my dad talked so much. My brother is nonstop. And when you live in a household like that, you just you're not the talking one, you're the quiet one. Yeah, I do engage in chat and especially I know a lot of you guys, although I don't know if you've already experienced it so far, Fishy, but your chat will change. You lose people,
What's that?
and then
I wasn't paying attention. What happened?
your chat will roll over. It'll change. You'll have people that are like in your chat all the time and talking to you and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they'll be gone, and you'll have somebody new.
Yeah.
In my 2 years, like Fishy things, you're relatively new.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
people that were it's in my chat just same as you are all the time and stuff, and they're gone.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
2 year
I have
now.
a bunch of regulars that I never see anymore, and they were
Right.
coming every day for like weeks, and then now they're not coming, and now I've got like 20 other regulars that have been coming every day for weeks. I don't know.
And that's one of, I guess, the hardest things whenever you're first starting out, or like when you've been doing this like 6, 8, 9 months or whatever,
Yeah.
and you have these people that came in that developed a rapport with,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden they're not there, and you've got new people coming in. You're like, but what happened?
Right.
So, but Travis, we talk a lot about this kind of stuff when it happens, and he's like, it just changes. People will cycle in and out, and
Yeah.
occasionally somebody will pop back up that's been
There you
gone
go
for a
again.
long time. But yeah, it's like you can't let that hurt your feelings. Is what I'm telling you guys.
Nah,
That's
I'm
the
gonna
nature.
get my feels.
That's the
I get
nature
my
of
feels. I
YouTube.
get my feels. I go through it. I do. I'll be like, what? This person, they never come anymore. I really like them. What are you gonna do?
And I'm sure I do it too. And some of it may be the fact that once you start going in people's lives,
Hmm.
YouTube actually doesn't kick these other people's lives that you used to be going into back up. So it may be partially YouTube's responsibility, the fact that you're not seeing their lives pop up in your feed.
Well,
So you get out of
yeah.
the
I mean,
habit of going.
there's a lot of like, I think so. As you get bigger, you can't be on as many people's channels as often as you once were. And I think sometimes people feel some type of way about that. They don't realize that you've just got too many people to try and communicate with now, you know?
I had a whole group of people I think get mad at me because of that.
Yeah.
That and the fact that a lot of times wherever I am, I'll pop in your live and I'll say hi and I'll hit the like button and stuff like that and I'll
Yeah.
speak to everybody. And
Yeah.
then a lot of times I'm in the car when
Yeah.
I'm doing that, or I've got 6 other people that just popped up in my feed at the top of my screen that
Yeah.
I also engage with on a regular basis in my channel. So I scroll up and I hit live on theirs and I speak to people.
Yeah.
And I do what I can as far as hitting your channels.
Yeah.
And if I'm not hitting your channels, it's because I'm not getting notifications on you, even though I've got the bell rung on everybody. So y'all don't.
Guys, she's
Don't get
got
mad.
26,000 subscribers and 3.6 million views. If she gives you
And
any attention, feel special. All right.
don't we
It's
get
a lot of
mad?
people. 26,000 people she's got to say hi to. She says hi. Feel special.
Well, not quite that many, but yeah. I mean, there's that many subscribers, but there's still a lot of subscribers that I try to hit. I try to
Yeah.
hit you guys' lives up. So yeah, you can't get mad if I hit you and go.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is.
Welcome to the world being hated. The more popular become more haters. I found that out, Weary Bunny.
Yeah.
I had a whole community of people ostracize me. I mean, a ton of them.
Thanks.
So,
Hey, but look at you now. You're the
who are
queen of
the
the cooking world, I
communities? Yeah,
think. As far
yeah.
as I
I never have. I never put out content that I don't have at least a couple, 3 people doing the thumbs down on.
Oh,
Never.
well, that's an achievement in its own way. You know, if you got people that are willing to put the effort in to give you a thumbs down, then you're pretty special, I think. I don't have any thumbs down yet, so I'm not worth nothing.
You'll come along.
I'll
You're
get there.
already up and coming fishy things.
I'm
Just wait
starting
till
to
you get people
get trolled
consistently.
finally.
Wait till you get people that can consistently come to your channel so they can dog you.
I don't like Weary Bunny.
I just think you're already big enough to where you have a PR guy.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, Saving Private Orp. Yeah, he's always
Yes,
getting me involved in things.
exactly. So yeah, you're coming right along.
I'm cooking.
What's
What do you
the
think?
matter with your shorts, AJ? Jackson, I'm so
I'm trying
not a
to say
star.
anything. I feel like a lot of people are going to go hit thumbs down on my stuff now. I should
God
have
damn
said
it! Nobody's thumbing his stuff down.
right.
What have we been doing?
I'm gonna be first.
I'm gonna be the first one. Let me get over there. But yeah, I actually wonder a lot of times if that's part of the, how you have 10 people chatting
Yeah,
and you'll have 30 people watching. I
yeah,
wonder a lot of times if it's those haters going, "Ah."
yeah. I always wonder what the heck that is too. Like, I don't know. I always think it's like bots or something because I've seen
Now,
it at times where there'll be like 70 people in my live, and there's like 3 people talking. I'm like, who are these other 67 people? What's going on? It'll stay
I'll
that
tell you,
way for hours.
my theory on the bots
Hmm.
is when your channel blows up all of a sudden,
Yeah,
you'll have some normal people in there, and then all of a sudden you've got like 60, 70, 80 people, 90 people, and
yeah,
you've got 30 likes or 20 likes. And it don't matter how many times people in the chat or you say double tap that screen, give me a like
mhm,
or whatever, that the likes do not go up in comparison to the amount of people you've got in the chat. I'm pretty sure that a lot of those are bots. And I
yeah.
think it's YouTube's way of maybe pushing you, trying to see if they can get more. I
You can
honestly
stay
think
on
it probably
longer
is
or
YouTube
something.
pushing, trying to get you more widespread because I think a lot of times the more people you have, the more people will watch.
Right.
If
Right.
if you pass by a live and there's like 80 people in chat, you'll stop at that live for a second
Yeah.
and see what's going on, why there's 80 people there. Like, that's
No.
why I stopped in that one that had 3,000 today, because I was like, what is this? Why are there 3,000 people in this chat?
Right. Right.
Sleep streams
I
blow
got
my
a
mind.
verified account here. Oh, Bearded Viking. This he gave me a badge before. Hey, Bearded Viking.
Hi, Bearded.
How you doing? I remember you. Here we go.
Thank you,
There you
Anthony. And I hope a lot of you guys, Anthony and Fernie, I know the way you say Fernie Hardaway is Fernie, but I never know if I'm saying that name right. A lot of you stick around for a long
You're
time.
a Negro or a Negro? Oh, gosh darn it. He got me. He got me.
191,000.
Yeah, you need to interview
What?
Bearded Viking.
Huh?
191.
You need to see if Bearded Viking will come on your show. He's got 191,000.
Bearded Viking, do you want to do my Chumming It Up with Fishy show? Well, here comes I know how to sort
The
the
biggest
trolls.
channel I ever got to go on screen like this with was, I think it's Team Hard Life.
Oh, okay.
He has, does he have 300 and something thousand? 200 or 300,000 is how many Team Hard Life
Oh my
has.
God,
He
Bearded
also
Viking,
donated.
you want to? Oh my God. Yeah, we got. Can you send me an email, Bearded Viking? Emmykins, can you go? Is your email on your channel? That'd be amazing. He says he's
That's cool,
down,
Bearded
guys.
Viking.
We're gonna get Bearded Viking on the Chumming It Up with Fishy show. Woo! I'm pumped.
That's
Pumped.
awesome.
Yeah, see if you can get his email too. But yeah, if you can, Bearded Viking, just send me an email and I'll get you on the schedule. I think my next opening is probably in July. We'll get you on. Yeah, my
Yes, because
email
the
is
email
in
was over
my
on your page.
channel description, and it's on my community tabs. And Emmykins just dropped it. Emmykins is my wife.
Hit it. Hit that one.
Oh, okay.
There you go. But so yeah, that's a coup for you.
Right? We'll see. We'll see if
I
you follow through. All right. Thank you, Bearded Viking.
enjoy
I
watching you
appreciate you, man.
fishing now. If I ever come up to Wisconsin now, you got to go get me on some sturgeon and stuff.
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
Because
Guaranteed.
we're not technically allowed to fish for sturgeon here. I have caught one, and then we caught one in the cast net.
Well, see, it's a
But
little bit the same here. We're technically not allowed to fish them except in September, but I mean it's the same way you fish for catfish, and there's catfish in that spot. So we fish for catfish and happen to catch sturgeon in my sturgeon spot. What are you gonna do? You know?
Bass Fishing 366, Kevin, happy birthday!
Woo!
Bass Fishing Kevin is awesome. He took some time off of YouTube recently, but it looks like he's back. Hopefully, see him
Welcome
live
back.
soon.
Should I mod him? Is that what you're hinting at
Oh
here?
yeah,
Sydney?
he's absolutely cool.
All right, we'll mod him.
He's in North Carolina, I believe.
I should probably mod Anthony too, huh? I
Anthony,
yeah, I always hesitate on people that don't have an actual picture, but you know what? I see him around all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and
yeah.
mod him.
Josie J's also cool.
Is he in here?
Just popped in.
All right.
But yeah, so
You probably want to go to bed, huh? I mean, we've asked all our questions. I just tried to make it to 1 hour. We're at 1 hour 34 minutes.
oh really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't care. We can keep going. I'm
I didn't
out
realize
of
it had been
content.
that long yet.
I'm out of questions. I got nothing.
Really?
just
We
doing
went through all
whatever
the
now.
questions?
Yeah, you answered all my questions. You did it. Gold star for
So
you.
yeah, really wet May compared to what Mays are usually. You know, you have those Aprils will be wet, and then Mays
Yeah.
will be nice and sunny and stuff. And then, like, it's been chilly the last few days, so we haven't. I've been off work. This is the second full week. I'm heading into the third week, and I haven't fished like I really would have liked to this month. I have taken some nights off and stuff like that, which I think it's probably good not to. I mean, people get sick of seeing your face after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
But
it's probably good sometimes to make them miss you, Absence makes
absence
the
makes the
heart
heart
grow
grow
fonder.
fonder.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get burned out to the point to where I don't have fun doing it, and I don't. I mean, like I enjoy passing the time with you guys while I'm fishing. It gives me something to focus on, and 6 hours will pass by, and I'll be like, "Really? We've been out for 6 hours?"
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. No, I can't believe it either, and there's some other YouTubers that are like that I'm kind of in little communities with and stuff, and they'll say, "Oh, Fishy," I'll be like, "Oh, if you just do like a 6 hour live, you'll get 100 likes." And I can't do a 6 hour live. Well, shoot, I forget sometimes that I'm even doing it. You know what I
right,
mean?
if you yeah, if you do like catfishing, especially some other kinds of fishing, you won't do. I mean, like you've got to wait on the bite. So a lot of times a
Right.
6 hour live isn't really that bad. It's 6 hours of
Mhm.
fishing for catfish isn't really that long. It's not terrible.
You're right.
Um, but I see people a lot of times go out and have like a 2 hour live and they start to end it. I'm like, no,
Right. You're
don't
just
do
getting
that.
going. You're just getting going.
Especially if you want to
Rude.
build it, you got to build a community and stuff. People got to have a little bit longer to get to know you.
You know.
So here's my experience with a sturgeon.
Yeah, I seen that one. He slapped you right in the face. That's a good
Fish,
sturge, though. That's a good sturge.
yeah, fish get the revenge. Don't think they don't.
Oh yeah.
And do I see myself? Wait a minute. Weary Bunny said, "Cindy, do you see yourself being a YouTube star?" Because I do. Weary Bunny, I am amazed, and I'm amazed that I've got to where I am, but I don't feel like it's. I don't feel like I'm anything.
I mean, in all my circles, you're the one. Like you are the top dog in all my fishing circles anyway.
Oh,
Skipjack Cindy is like, oh my god, Skipjack Cindy. Wow. You know?
but
That's
so
a,
the thing about it is, like, do I see myself being a YouTube star? No, no,
you are.
because
Whether you
it's
see
like
it or not, you are.
when you consider how many stinking channels and people doing stuff on YouTube, there's little
Yeah.
kids honestly throwing paper wads
Yeah, no.
that
I
have
mean
400,000 subscribers and a million subscribers.
you can't think
I
about
ain't
them.
nobody.
This is how you gotta think about it though. But is that something you'd want to do? You want to do that for a living? Throw cups at other cups every day for you know what I mean? You're
But
doing
if I
what you
can
want
pay
to
my
do.
bills on it, if I can pay my bills on it's better
Well,
than working on
sure.
the assembly line. That's what we're going to do. We're going to throw cups. Well, the thing about it is, I really need to. I was considering it when I was watching them kids doing it today. Can I do that?
You know what? I'll challenge you to it. We could do one of these where we'll be dual screen, and I'll be throwing my and you'll throw yours, and we could do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't think you think we'll get 3,000 people in here. I don't know.
See, the thing is, I'm like, I mean,
But
will
no,
I consider myself a sellout?
so this is the way I look at
But
it,
when I'm
right?
paying my bills, am I going to feel that bad about it?
No. It'd be all right. It'd be all right.
I really enjoy fishing, and I really couldn't give up fishing, but
You could do both.
I could be fucking paying my bills
You
throwing
could do
cups.
both. You could do both. You could have a line in the water. You could have the phone running. You could have the cups out there by the shore. You know what I mean? This might be a new level. That's probably 6,000 people in that live.
See, I really need something to get me off that assembly line. I really do. But yeah, it's like, and the people will, when you get out and you start getting these super chats and stuff like that, I think a lot of people think that you are doing it for the money. And maybe when you get Mr. Beast size, I don't know.
Well, sure.
Right now we spend way more.
Yeah.
In 2 hours down the fish Chickamauga. You get out and chase bait and stuff like that. So any of you guys that think that we do this for the money and the super chats, it's fun. It's fun to get them. It's fun that people enjoy your content enough to actually donate and help you and support your channel. Join your channel as a member.
Right.
It's awesome and it makes you feel good and you want to do your best for them and catching fish and stuff like that. But yeah, you're definitely not doing it for the money you make on YouTube.
No. But okay, this is how I look at it, right? So when I was a little boy, I always said to people who said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I used to say, "I'm going to be a professional angler." Right? That didn't materialize, but if I get monetized and I make $1 on YouTube, I'll say, "By God, I've done it. I'm a professional angler." You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. That's it. And I can look at all those people and say, I showed you. I did it.
I'm getting paid to fish. You know what's
Yep.
weird to me too, though, is my family, like my cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They look at me, they talk about me and stuff now. There's some stuff. I'm the subject of conversation. Again, when I was in my
You're
20s, the
cutting out. You
subject of
missed all that.
conversation, but it was for a totally different reason.
Could
Oh,
everyone else hear?
missed it?
Yeah, you cut out. Something
Oh,
about
okay.
your
I was saying that I have become a topic of conversation when my family, my aunts, uncles, cousins, my extended family have
Yeah.
get-togethers and stuff like that. I have become a topic of conversation. I was like,
Cool.
it's weird to me. That is weird. The I said I might have been a topic in my 20s, but that was for a totally different reason.
Oh, well.
But it's weird when you think about, because they'll come in the channel now, some of them, and watch us fish and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's too weird. But your
Right.
family kind of.
Yeah, my family's not impressed, I don't think. They'll say good job or
Some of my
whatever.
family is, and I think it's just because they're shocked that we did it.
Yeah.
That I've got actually out here in front of folks and talking to people and started this YouTube channel.
Right.
Because I probably would have been like that way if another member of my family had done it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, wow, they actually had the nerve to do that. But I don't see it that way. I don't know. But it's weird to me that people.
I think people who haven't tried or aren't currently in the YouTube sphere world trying to get their channel going or whatever, I don't think they really understand it all. Like, I don't think they have any clue how much work it actually is to like get this going. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It really is. And if you don't put the time in and you don't grind, you're not going to get anywhere on it. And I have a feeling, I don't know yet, but I have a feeling that even when you do get somewhere, it's not really all that much. But but as long as that's why, like you said, as long as you're just doing something you actually enjoy doing. That's the guy that got me into this. He said, I'm going to be fishing all the time either way. So
Either way. That's when we started. That's what we started doing. And we're here anyway.
Yeah.
We knew a few other people that were doing YouTube channels fishing, and we watched them. And I was like, that does it. It's fun. It looks like talking to the people. I just don't think I could ever do it. That's before we ever started doing it. I I just don't think I could talk to those people. What would I talk about? But
Right.
here we are. But yeah, persistence is the key to making your channel grow. You've got to keep on, and you really do have to enjoy it.
Ow.
So the editing is a drag. Glacier Shark, Travis, that falls on Travis most of it.
Sorry.
But because
Yep.
I really wish I had more time to do that. I don't know how people work jobs like
I gotta
full-time
stand.
jobs and do a bunch of that editing. Did your leg fall asleep?
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm having a muscle spasm in my foot. So
When
I
I'm
can't
sitting in the
get back
chair
into
for
it.
too long, I get that sciatic nerve. A lot of that when I'm driving, when we're driving from place to place, I'll be like,
You're showing about the short.
Bass Fishing
I'll be all
said
right. I'll be all right.
fishes
I
at
don't know if
night while
What
sick
did
in
you
the cold rain. I'm like, let's go. Yeah, I did. I fished with a fever back in the Knoxville. Returning viewers.
Well, just show them around on the short and how it works on the.
Which
Let's see.
yeah, and I have fished. I have fished with COVID before. So yeah,
I think it
you
was
have to. I had a fever, had a sinus infection in Knoxville a while back, and fished. So yeah, I caught a mirror carp that night though. It was so much fun.
that one live I did. I was having like I think it was allergies or maybe it was just a cold or something. But I was like sniffling through the whole live. It was like a 5-hour live or so. The whole time I'm just when I caught eight catfish and got 100 views or 100 likes. I mean, what's up?
So like we were talking about the financial part of this. I don't know
Yeah.
how much you can see, but like
That's short.
that's the best short we had.
No, it's not the best one, but it's
One of the higher shorts we had. It had 26,200 views.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reach.
just hit it at the top.
What do you got? Backwards. What's that? $84?
84 cents.
Oh, 84 cents for 24,000 views. Yeah, but that's on shorts. That's on shorts. What
Yeah,
do you get for the
and
lives?
last
You
year,
get anything for lives other than what
let's
people
see.
donate?
That's it.
He'll look that up for me.
All right.
But
Hey, if I got that 84 cents, I'd be like, I'm a professional fisherman. So here we are.
yes, your videos, your long form videos pay better than that if you can get them to
Yeah.
go. They pay per 1,000 views. It's like
Mm-hmm.
$7 per thousand, $6.94, $7, something like that per thousand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
long form. Yeah, long form is where the money is. You make a $100 or a dollar per 10,000 views. $100. You have 7 million views, and that's going live. Woo, that's going live about every day, though. Right, Crappie Man?
We're all right. I think
How do you start giving us?
cut out their dirty little secrets is what it is. Yeah, 100 for 10,000 views, and that's on the lives. So every 10,000 views, you get $100 on the live for every 10,000.
Oh, he deletes live.
Before.
It's doing echo.
Uh-oh. We might have. Oh, look at that! My live restarted. Just on the timer though, I still got 90 likes up there. That's interesting. Is the echo over? Last time this happened, I couldn't do anything about it.
Well, we have been live a long time, so.
Yeah. I think we've doubled what my usual goal is. I just try to make it at least an hour. After that, if they want to stay and hang, we'll do whatever. But I got my questions, and then between that and asking the chat questions, I usually get about an hour out of these interviews. Yeah, it's just a fun little thing that I've been doing. Am I muted? Am I really muted, Weary Bunny, or are you messing with me?
You can hear you, but you're real dim.
Yeah, this is what it did last time, too.
Well, it was good. It was good being on your show. I had fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And Travis, I know you're back there. I will see you next week, sir. I'm excited. Woo! All right, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. See ya.